Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private servers. We are with Silver Phoenix, our level 41 Scrapper, and we are on the Malta Group story arc, the first one from Indigo. And she said there's a prisoner exchange going on, and what we're supposed to do is try to stop it and rescue Melvin Langley, who she thinks is the prisoner being exchanged. Now, the reason I'm bringing you back here rather than at the door is because look at the where this is telling me to go, Callisti Wharf. So this is something very odd. This story arc existed when I was in the game, and Callisti Wharf didn't. But I guess it's a random mission door. So we get to Callisti Wharf by clicking on this, and this is a non-finished zone. So Callisti Wharf, they did the 3D modeling and they put the structures into the game, but they didn't create any contacts here. They didn't create any villain groups here. I don't know if they were planning to. They didn't really create any storylines for Callisti Wharf, right? But they did create this really cool looking, very pretty zone. I mean, you can see how nice it looks. They really upped their modeling game at the end of the run of this game. If you go to Pretoria, it looks very pretty as well. This reminds me a lot of Pretoria. So it's a pretty big zone. You can see it's about a mile across because we're at one end and Melvin Langley's the other, so it's about a mile and a quarter across. There's a college campus here, sort of like almost like a tech version of the campus. There's this really cool statue of Statesman. A lot of role players come over here and role play under Statesman's statue. There's a portal here to the base, and as I said, there's university, and there's Fusionette, who is a trainer. I love Fusionette. She's a really cool character. And there's another trainer up here, and the elite quartermaster, whoever he is, and a smuggler submarine to get you to other places. And I guess this ship is permanently stuck under the drawbridge. I don't know. So this is a non-finished zone. What you can often see here is like some of the cars aren't moving. A lot of the ones that do end up like in this vortex, where they're just all circling around the same street. I think it depends on whether or not the server's been rebooted recently. So they didn't quite get the pathing correct. It's a pretty zone, although we do have a little bit of a slum area over here. And then this is a warehouse district. And you can see they did a nice job with the texturing on the streets and everything. It's actually quite a nice zone. So I thought I'd let you guys see it as we went through it, since we've never been to Callisti Wharf before in this playthrough. Alright, so let's see if we can rescue Melvin Langley from the Malta Group. And again, we're going to keep an eye on the last episode. We either got 1 or 0 enhancements. Let's see how many enhancements we get in this episode. It's been very slim pickings the last few levels with this character. I don't really know why. But right now we only have 2. Alright, so there's a Hercules class Titan right off the bat. I can't see how close these other guys are. If they get involved in the fight, that'll be bad. Alright, let's get him. They're going to get involved. This guy's going to get involved. That's okay. It's this guy I was worried about, because he'll pull out an auto turret. We don't want that. So this Titan's level 43, so he's +2 to us. He can do a lot of damage when he hits. We can take exactly 3 hits from him. The 3rd hit will kill us, so we got to be very careful. Let's do a Dragon's Tail and knock the other guy over. We didn't succeed at that. That's unfortunate. But we should be able to finish this Titan off right now. And then this guy will go down no problem. And what do we get for a badge? Superstar. Since the Paragon City have begun to petition to make statues of my name. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know if that's because I reached a certain number of bosses defeated. I don't know if it's... Yeah, I don't know. Achievements. I don't know if it's because I did 1 million damage, or 2 million damage, or 3 million damage, or what. No idea. Alright, so we gotta look for Melvin Langley. There's lots of these Titans. There's an operations officer. There's a Titan. Oh, and a Zeus class Titan. Oh, that's going to be an interesting fight over there. Let's take these guys out first. Oh, I missed him. And that's how you take damage, is missing like that. Alright, operations engineer. So we're going to queue up a hit to interrupt his... try not to get too close to that gunslinger and aggro him. I love that you can knock these things down. You can't really knock them back, but you can knock them down. Alright, let's do a little extra damage. And with Focus Chi, we're going to do massive damage to this guy. Look at that. Excellent. Operations engineers. One of them is going to summon a turret. There's nothing I can do about that. Was I able to prevent it? It looks like it. And this takes care of these guys. There's more guys over there. Wow, that's quite the spawn there. Alright, I think it's time for loot. Since we're probably going to aggro the lieutenant also, so let's take him out. And there's another guy. Oh, he wasn't finished yet. I thought I had him done. Alright. So that should take care of us. We have some resistance in case he actually hits us through a loot. And you can see that we're doing a pretty good job on him. Focus Chi will help us out here. Man, those things can take punishment. In this case of these, I thought these were hallways, but they're not. Did I interrupt him in time? Nope. Won't be able to hit me though. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm missing a lot. Shouldn't be. I should be nearly capped. Yeah, 89%. That's almost capped. Alright, we're gonna have to wait here because the loot's about to drop. When you see it says 5 minutes, at around like exactly 5 minutes, I think, it will stop. What is the recharge time? 9 minutes, and it lasts for 3. Is that, we actually got it to around 9 minutes, so when it, yeah, so at 4:50, let's see, 4:55, okay. So that's weird. How come, it's very strange that it didn't just turn off all my toggles at first, you know. Alright, well, let's get our endurance back. Put our toggles back on, and we can recover again, so that's good. Just looking for Sapper. There's the Sapper, and he's imprisoning Langley. Alright. Let's sweep around to this side first. Alright, let's see if we can knock this guy over. Got him. That is perfect. That's what we want. Alright. Now we've got another Titan over here. These Titans are pretty cool looking. They look like Transformers or something. They're pretty awesome. And another one. Look at that crit. That's nice. I love a good crit. We want to make sure that we stay away from the Sapper. It's really cool the way you see, like, some of the missiles fill up and then they, like, discharge. It's really cool. Very nice visuals. Alright, Sapper time. Got him before he could even attack me. That's what you want. And we got a clue. It says, though Melvin Langley was not the prisoner being moved, he did rescue Artie Riturio. I thought it said Melvin Langley on that guy. So the clue says, Artie Riturio's story. After you rescued him, Art Riturio told you, well, Silver Phoenix, it's great to meet you. I'm actually a big fan of yours. Look, these guys have been after me for a while. You see, I got a power. Nothing big. I mean, all I can do is make somebody forget the last 5 minutes. I always figured that really wasn't of any use to anybody. But I told my doctor about it, and suddenly these strange guys were contacting me. They were all nice at first, promising to help me with money and stuff. But I got a bad feeling off of them, so I told them no. Then they stopped being nice. I figured I had to stand strong against them. But these guys are vicious. They took everything from me. Then when I still said no, they said it would be easier to re-educate me. I'm glad you got to me in time. I think I met that Langley fellow you mentioned. They were giving him the 3rd degree pretty badly. They made me watch some to show me what could happen if I didn't cooperate. The guys working on him kept asking who'd been feeding him information, but I never saw him talk. I wish I could help you more, Silver Phoenix, but that's all I know. Now we're going to beat this guy up, and then we'll leave the mission. I'm not going to just leave a guy right in front of me without finishing him off. Alright, so let's head out. I hope you can see, you know, how enjoyable it is to play a Scrapper. It's very quick. I like the speed of the gameplay of a Scrapper. If you compare it to the Tanker, if you go watch even the level 22 Liberty Lass content with her SOs and everything in place, it's still not as fast as Scrappers. No, not even close. Alright, so let's contact Indigo, and we get another clue. And she says, well, that wasn't Melvin, but I'm sure Art Riturio is happy to be free. I'll make certain that he's contacted by someone who can protect him from our friends. Just because we didn't find Melvin this time doesn't mean that it's over. According to Mr. Riturio, Melvin's still alive. And they're still trying to figure out what he knows. I really wasn't expecting him to hold out this long. He's been a very brave man. What's the clue say? That's just summarizing. Alright, and so now, again, Indigo. And she says, we know that Melvin Langley is still alive, and our friends aren't sure exactly what he knows. You've done a lot of good and saved a lot of people from nasty ends, but we're still no closer to finding Melvin. However, that's what Crimson wants to see you about. I'm not sure, of course, but I think you should talk with Crimson about a change in strategy so we can try to get Melvin back safely. When you're ready, I'll tell him. So we say, okay, and she says, go talk to Crimson. So, we're going to shortcut. Well, do we need a shortcut? It's not that far. Let's just go ahead and super jump. This is a new zone, so we want to enjoy a little bit of it. The slums area, very clearly. I love that super tall building. That is really awesome looking. I don't know if there are any explorer badges in here. I haven't gone looking. I should check into that. These little covered walkways and bridges are really cool looking. It really is a shame this game closed down and the developers never got a chance to sort of update the graphics, because they were clearly doing much better with the graphics here. And I would think that eventually they would have updated the graphics in the other zones, but the game got shut down before they could do that. Alright, so we're going to meet with Crimson, who's on Peregrine Island. So we're going to take the ferry from Talos. It's a short couple of hops, and he's right near the ferry on Peregrine Island, and then he's going to give us a mission, I guess, or tell us where to go. So let's go ahead and... Did we get any enhancements? Oh, we got one. Okay, so we got one this entire episode. So one in that mission. You know, one per mission is better than 0, of course, but it's still a bit low. I mean, I used to get 3, 4, 5 enhancements a mission, so I don't know what's going on. Alright, so this is the way to Peregrine Island. You just walk into the ferry and it teleports you over there. And Portal Corp is found on this island as well, and we do have a contact at Portal Corp, Tina McIntyre, but we're going to do her later, because that's when we start getting into interdimensional travel, and I'd like to do some of the rest of the Paragon story in Paragon first. So, we see Crimson, and he says, I've come to a decision, Silver Phoenix. We still don't have Melvin Langley, and every day he stays in the Malta's hands is another day he could be in danger, or put Indigo or myself in danger. Our strategy has not worked up to this point, despite all of your hard work, so we now need to change that strategy. Part of the reason we've had a hard time getting Melvin back is we've been trying to handle this too carefully. The idea was that when this was all over, Melvin Langley could walk right back into his office and have a normal life again. Now, don't think that's because we're all nice and charitable, Silver Phoenix. It comes down to utility. Langley would be a much better source of information if no one suspected him of anything but an everyday clerk. Well, you can't always get what you want, even with all your help. Even if we get him away from Malta today, Melvin Langley would never have a normal life again, so it's time to stop pretending that he will and start concentrating on getting him out of danger. There's one last piece of information I want you to get. It's some notes Mr. Langley made during a trip to the island of Malta on his last vacation. This time, I don't care what happens to the Malta agents on the scene. I want you to get those notes, and I want you to defeat every Malta agent on the scene when you do it. It's time to show those paranoid commando nutjobs just what they should be afraid of. And when you're done with that, bring them to me in person. So the question is, am I going to be able to do that? Or when I find these papers out, am I going to have to make a choice between giving them to him and giving them to Indigo? I have a funny feeling that Crimson, because he's not telling Indigo everything, and I have the funny feeling that Crimson's gone rogue on this one. And Indigo's doing what she's supposed to do, and Crimson's doing stuff behind her back on a need-to-know basis. I don't know. I have no specific memory of this story arc other than that I fought a bunch of Malta on it, and that I thought it was a cool arc. But I have a funny feeling that Crimson's going to end up being somebody that, not that he's a bad guy, but that he wasn't necessarily doing what he was supposed to do, and he was doing things behind Indigo's back. That's my guess. But we'll see what happens. So off to Founders Falls. As you can see, there's an awful lot of traveling in this story arc. Even though we have contact phone numbers, they're making you do a lot of shuffling around. A lot of players didn't like that. I don't mind it that much, but a lot of players didn't like it and complained about it, which is why so many of the later story arcs all take place in one zone. Okay, so now we're going to defeat them all to 8. Whoa. Wow, that is a really bad rubber band. Whoa. Do you guys see that? Yikes. Alright, we'll keep going. If this keeps happening, we'll have to stop. Okay. Gosh, I don't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, so players didn't like going from zone to zone to zone like this. I don't mind it. It's alright. Certainly not something I would complain a lot about. Alright, so we are here. Switch to combat jump. We have our toggles on. Make sure we didn't forget. And in we go. Crimson's information is right on target. The office is being used by the Malta Group's agents. So I made sure they all got interrupted. Now, what's interesting is, if you interrupt them, they never try to do it again. I wonder if it just has a really long recharge or something. Okay, these guys are also operations engineers. So I'm going to go to try to Dragon's Tail them as well. It's got a nice quick animation, so you have a good chance. As long as you hit. Well, this is a defeat all, so we gotta beat them all up. Missed him. Great. So there comes his little pet. Alright, we'll take care of this guy. And then the auto turret. There we go. There's the sapper. One. Hurry up. Get him. There we go. So he missed me on the one shot, and then he was defeated by the next shot. Okay. Alright, so this section's done. Operations guys. Darn it, I thought I hit that. Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, I hit Dragon's Tail after I moved. meant neither one of them got caught in the radius, which was stupid. Okay. And there's an elevator, but there's more guys to clean up on this level. Over here. A level +3 lieutenant. Of course. There's guys on both sides. There's always guys on both sides. Stop it. This auto turret is so accurate. I have to rest after this, no question about it. You're not getting away. And now we take a knee. Well, we got another drop. That's 2 in this episode. Operations engineers. Too late. Yep. Yeah, the problem when there's 3 of them is you just can't know which one is going to take a knee and summon. And if you're wrong, and you hit the wrong guy, you're just going to have to face this thing. And if I'm not wrong, I don't think they give you any XP either, which is really aggravating. And you, coward, you're not getting away. And there is a level 44 lieutenant. So he's purple to me because he's +3. Got him. Alright, that's 1 level down, maybe 4 to go. This is going to be quite a long episode if there are 4 more levels of this. I guess with a lot of these I'm going to have to just start filming 1 mission an episode. Oh, that's a boss, it sounds like. Paradox Dancer, yep. So these guys are all operations. Got him. So, doing Dragon's Tail, you can't get all 3 of them in the radius from how far they're standing apart. But if you can do Dragon's Tail at 2 of them, at least you have a 2/3 chance of hitting the guy who's taking a knee to try to summon. And that'll interrupt him. I wonder where Paradox Dancer is. We're looking for travel notes as well. My hero Glowy. There's Paradox Dancer. Alright. Wow, he saw me from there? Well, it's a good thing we turned on a loot. Still hitting me. Look at that. That auto turret is still hitting me with a loot on. That is insane. Whoa. How are they still hitting me? %15 chance. Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't be hitting me that much with 15% chance. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is why I keep saying I think there's something going on with the RNG. There's no way he hit me like 50% of the time with a 15% chance to hit. And several times in a row. If we go back and look. So let's go back and look. He had a 15% chance to hit me each time. So let's see. Paradox Dancer hits. He rolled a 4. Hits. He rolled a 4. Look at that. 4.77, 4.79. That's what got me. He hit me with 2 4s. 2 auto hits. There's nothing you can do about that. You could have an 8,000 defense, it's still going to hit. Alright, we got a loot on, so we should be fine against these guys. This is why I don't do +4s. Because that guy would have had a much more than a 15% chance to hit me, and he would have done a lot more damage. Yeah, ask yourself. He has a 15% chance to hit. Okay, he rolled 2 in a row on basically die, what, 1,000? And he got a 477 followed by a 479, right? A 4.77 followed by a 4.79. I mean, what are the odds? Yeah, I know. Coincidentally, it can happen over thousands of players playing. It just seems like it happens too much that they roll a second number that's within 1 of the first number. And the Knives of Artemis are attacking me, and unfortunately for you, I have elude going, so you're not going to hit. And you're going to be knocked out really fast. Oh, that was bad. Alright, we'll suck down an endurance and take this guy out. And then we will turn on super jump. So we need to take the notes to Crimson, so we'll start jumping while we wait for our endurance to be able to recover. And now it's recovering, so we'll go ahead and turn our toggles on. Years ago, this would root you. Every time you turned one on, you would slam down to the ground and do the pose, but they've changed it so that if you are moving when you turn on your toggles, you just keep moving. Not sure if I like that. I mean, rooting got me killed a few times, but I don't know. I kind of like the visuals of it. So, okay, so back to Talos. See, this is what used to annoy people because you can't go straight on the train to Peregrine. So now you got to go from Founders to Talos, to Peregrine, back to Talos, back to somewhere else. So we're going to talk to Crimson, and then we will stop this episode here. I hope you've been enjoying. I certainly have. I'm really glad I have elude. It helps an awful lot, but I guess I needed a... I guess I should have used a... Well, no, I was going to say I guess I should have used the luck against that final boss, but it wouldn't help me because even additional luck would have still only... wouldn't have helped because of 4.79 and 4.77 still both hit me no matter what. And that is the problem with super reflexes, is you don't get hit often. As you've seen, a lot of times our health bar just stays up at the top, but when you do get hit, you have absolutely no defense. And that's why looks like we might get caught here in a crash. If we do, I'll just end the episode, but that's why when I do look for sets, I look for resistances, particularly to smashing and lethal, because those are the most common attacks, and we have no resistance to that. Alright guys, I'm going to end the episode here because obviously there's been a crash. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back next time with more City of Heroes.